Right, check this out. I've been waiting for this little bugger. I think it's been around the houses because it was supposed to be here at the beginning of the week and now it's the end of the week, frustratingly. Alright, so this is actually take 2 of the unboxing of the FS GT5 by Flysky. Had some disturbances, that's why. But we're going to try again now. It's a bit quieter here. So I've been had a dilemma-ing or debating on whether to get this radio for quite some time now, and I was keeping an eye on it and I was going to get it from somewhere, and then decided I didn't fancy my chances of actually receiving it. And then I found a local seller in the country on eBay, so I decided I was going to go for it. What attracted me to this one mostly was the gyro receiver, which has got a gyroscopic correction system in it for your steering, for oversteer and stuff. And I was really keen on that because this car here is a bit mental, really. You can't really put the power down properly without just losing the back end, which is a shame because it's a great car. I have toned the power down a little bit, but it's still pretty crazy. So, but I really would fancy having it a bit more manageable to see if this gyro thing works. So what we got here, usual manual stuff. Giving it, but I've watched a few reviews on this radio myself, so I kind of already know my way around it. But we'll refer to that later if we need to. The other thing I fancied about this was you can buy new separate receivers to go in each of your cars, and the radio's got like 20 car memory in it, so you can use it in your crawler, you can use it in your bashing car, you can use it in your whatever car. So you know, you buy the one radio and you buy this receivers at a lot less money than a radio every time, and then you just, you know, you can switch through your channels and use the model that you're after. So what we got here, this is like another hand grip, presumably for smaller or bigger. This probably might be thicker or something. I'll put that there a minute. I'll put that down there as well. Having a slurpee of coffee here. Lovely. Bit of packaging, so that's alright. It's quite well packaged in there. Now then, I've never done an unboxing, so I don't really know what everybody, you know, ooh, the packaging. You know, it's in a box, it's not broken, ideal. Right, so here's the radio itself. Let's pop that there a minute. It looks quite a bit smaller than I imagined it. Maybe I've just got a lot bigger hands than most people. But yeah, it's quite compact little radio actually. And even the wheel everything looks quite small. So yeah, the Flysky GT5, let's compare that with a more well-known, the old FS GT2 radio. It's quite a bit smaller. Obviously it's going to take less batteries in the bottom. The hand grip is more or less the same sort of size, but this one does feel pretty nice. The old top of the radio there is quite, it just looks slighter. It's nice. I like it so far. I mean, these radios are good as a budget radio, not complaining at all. But that's lovely. Nice little wheels, got a nice squishy thing. You can just reach it with your thumb there. Oh, I can reach it with my thumb there quite nicely. You got this aerial too, which is I really like that idea, because I've got another one of these and it's got a broken aerial. Not my fault, it was come with a car that I bought. But that's quite nice. You can just pop that out of the way. Excellent. Little screen. See, I don't know, I just imagined this screen being slightly bigger, you know. Cool. What else we got in here? Oh yeah, that's that. Yeah, that looks like it's bulging out more, and then this one's a bit more sort of straight lined for your smaller hands. Oh yeah, and of course the receiver. The other thing about this radio is it's 6 channels. It's not 2 channels, or some radios you get are 3 channels, and that 3rd channel is like a push button. So you think, oh, I've got an RC crawler, so you want like 3 channels. You want one for your throttle and one for your steering, and then you fancy a channel to work your winch. Well, more often than not, that 3rd channel is like an on-off switch, which is great for things like lights and stuff. But what you need is a 3-way switch. Like this has got a neutral position, positive and negative, if you wanted to say forward and reverse. Neutral position, left and right. So there's actually 3 parts to that. It's 3 parts to that. So an on-off button's no good. You need 3 parts. And this here, this other channel, you've got a neutral position there. You've got one way back to neutral, and then you've got another way and back to neutral, which is perfect for a winch. And it's right there, look, so you can control that with your thumb when you're winching and still have control over your steering and your throttle. That's exactly what I wanted. Just that alone is good enough for me. But this is actually a 6 channel, so there's plenty of scope now for other things like your winch, like your lights. I know that some of these channels are like an on-off switch. I'm not sure which ones yet. We'll find out when I look into it. Like that one's an on-off. Channel 3. Channel 4 is a 3-way. You've got your trims. And there's your channel 5 and your channel 6. So they can be running something, I'm not quite sure what. Lights, I suppose, or I don't know. Just extras. Don't mind some extras. Cool. And that's pretty small, that. I'm quite impressed at how small that is. They said it was small, but when you get it in your hands you realise just how small it is. So here's like a pretty standard receiver unit with that GT2 radio, and that it's almost half the size, look. Almost half the size, with 6 channels and this gyro system that's in it. So we're going to chuck some batteries in this and fire it up. So I'll be back in a tick. Yeah, here we go. Oh, that's cool. So this dial feels quite nice actually. Yeah, quite positive. A small movement, but very positive. Not entirely sure what these are doing at the moment. But you got your, first of all, you got your model there, so you got a few there. You can click with 1 model, 2 model, 3 model, 4 model. Model being cars, so if your 4th car, 5th car, 6th car. Go back to the first car, of which you would have put this in and bound it to. Selected that. I know you can change the name, so you click on that and you can change the name of the car. You've only got 3 digits, so you know, maybe you're going to put your crawler initials there or something like that, but back out. Exponential. Now I hear a lot of people talking about the exponential, and people don't actually know what they are, and you can vary the rate of it, of course. Exponential is the ability to, so if you've got a car that's really flighty and responsive, like I know that one is, I just touch the throttle, I mean it's like bah! Just took off. It's like really punchy, which you can program in the ESC, but you can program it on this as well. So if I wanted it to accelerate really gently at first, I could actually regulate how sensitive that throttle is, and that's the exponential, like the curve of the power. So, and the more you get into the throttle, the more power it will actually give it. So a lower percentage to start with, and then a longer percentage towards the end. I quite like it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to run my car. I'm going to run my car as it is, just to give you an idea of what it goes like. How finicky it is on the throttle and your steering. And then I'm going to come and put this radio in. I'm going to show you how that gyro works, because I think it's fantastic, and I've been waiting to do the gyro myself. I can't wait to do it. So back in a minute. That's pretty funny actually. Yeah, it's me telling you how crazy the car is, and it's pretty hot out today, so I take it out the front, and I couldn't get it to spin out, do anything. It was like a perfect scenario, you know, those days that you're usually waiting for, and it was gripping really well. So what I've done is I've just popped in and I've picked up these other wheels that I've got. They're pretty crap, to be honest. I got them because I thought, oh, they look great. They're like slicks. They're going to be really sticky on the road, you know, going to do the job real well, and they're rubbish. So we'll try these wheels now, because I know it will slip around and act up and replicate what it's like when it's being a pain in the backside. Yeah, there you go. So replicating like a wet field or something with these crap tyres on. Great for drifting, but you can't really control it too smart. Right, I had to figure all that out, but as you can see now, when the car steps out and oversteers, it steers by itself now to auto correct what's happening. So I've got it wound right up to the max, and we'll see what that goes like. Wow, that's weird. So like, I'm upsetting it there on purpose. And it's kind of leaving it straight for me. I'm just flicking the steering and it's correcting it for me. See, it's wiggling itself around, it's actually over correcting. So it's taking too much control. So I'm gonna, it says there's a priority there. So I'm actually going to turn the priority down to 50%. Yeah, that's the strangest thing. I'm going to turn it down a little bit more, about 30%, because it not only does it control the steering, it controls your throttle. Like, I can override it. I can override it with this by touching the steering, but generally going along it aids with it, so I can adjust that if I want. Just wait for these horses to go away. So there's priority, throttle gain, steering gain. So steering's on 50%, throttle's on 50%, priority's on 30%. I'm going to turn the throttle off a little bit, because that's the thing that's actually upsetting me a bit. I'm going to drop that down to 25% there. Yeah, that's right. So that throttle's like a traction control, but I didn't really want traction control. So this will take a little bit of setting up, because what I want from it is quite minimal really. I want the function, but I don't want it to just take over what I'm doing. I want it to just aid with those things that I can't see and feel unless I was sitting in the car driving it like a real car. So I kind of want to be able to drive it fast without it holding me back on the throttle like it is, but then it can just take care of those small movements that I'm not capable of doing. Especially under braking, that's the one that really kills me up. It's dead straight braking. If anything, that's probably the thing I'm after mostly, is under braking. Like, I can regulate my throttle and my steering okay depending on what the conditions are, but when you hit the brakes you don't have any regulation on that. Don't forget, these tyres are so crap. Normal driving, I can't control it at all. And now I'm driving it like as if I've got a good set of tyres on, which is fantastic really. It's easy to forget that. That's crazy. I've never been able to drive this car flat out, especially not on these tyres. Never been able to do that ever.